I have bought so many stationery products that is marketed for children, and only a handful of them survive the stress test that a toddler can put them through. Stop wasting your time and money on flimsy supplies and watch on to find out what is good quality stationery that actually lasts. If you're a toddler parent, you are well aware that it is a challenge to keep them engaged for any length of time. And what I have seen that works best is giving them lots of colors and textures and different things that they can experiment with. And I love to draw and paint, and I try to encourage that with my daughter. She's 18 months old now, and getting her to sit for any length of time is really quite a task. I have experimented with a lot of different kinds of colors. This video will exclusively be about like crayons and art tools, anything that kids use, what is good for them, what I recommend. And maybe if you like these kind of videos, I'm going to make a series of like the books I recommend for kids or any other toys and products that I've been using for my daughter. So let me know in the comments below if this is something that is interesting to you, and I will maybe make this a series. So let me just take you through my journey. The first set of crayons that I decided to get for my daughter were from this brand called Azafran, and she was just about a year old at that point, and her grip was just forming. I didn't want to give her like proper pencil like colors, so I got these. So these are like these square cubes, and they're kind of made from soy wax, and they are very, very soft. And like even if she she used to throw them and everything, and you can see that there are some dents along the way, of course, but it has mostly held its shape, and they do have a very good, very dark pigment. And I really like the color that came out of it. Like, it was bright enough for her to differentiate between the pigments, and it was also easy enough for her to hold. If you can see over here, like there is kind of a dent where she used to hold it, right? But if you also look very closely, there are a lot of these scratch marks. So because the crayon is very, very soft, my daughter used to like pick at it with her nails. And if you know that toddler nails are really an instrument of their own. Like, she used to pick at them a lot and used to get it under her nails, and kids basically eat everything. Although this was non-toxic, and they did say it was like safe to taste, but I'm sure it's not safe to eat. So if it went under her nails, she would like, at some point it would go in her stomach, which I was not very happy with. So these were good starting points, but we didn't really continue with these for too long. Like, I took them away. Next, when she was just over a year old, maybe 13-14 months, is when I wanted to give her more crayons which actually look like crayons. And she goes to a parent toddler program in a school, right? So there we had actually come across these really cool crayons, and that is what I got for her at home as well. Let me show you. So we got these Faber-Castell crayons, right? They come in 6 colors, and you can see that the way it is designed, it is absolutely perfect for a toddler's grip. So they generally hold things like this with the fist. So even then, like when they rub it, they will actually get a lot of color out of it. And again, like these were also colors that the pigments are quite bright, and this one's quite blunt, so you can see that it's being used quite a lot. The best thing about these crayons is that they do not break. They have been tortured. When I say tortured, you know what I mean. If you're a toddler parent, they have been thrown, they've been stepped on, they have been like scooters have ran over them, but they have held their shape and nothing has happened to them. And really, as a toddler parent, the best thing is that when crayons don't break off, because the last thing you need is broken bits of crayon which your toddler can put in their mouth at any time. That is really a horror story, and I don't want that. So I really like these Faber-Castell crayons. I love the grip of them. Speaking of Faber-Castell, they also come in these like 3 primary color balls, which I really enjoyed. So all of these are also very nice to grip, but my daughter tends to play more with it than actually color, because I don't think she registers that this is actually something you can color with. So she treats it like a ball and she throws it around. Even then, despite her throwing it around, they have fully retained their shape. There are like a few chips, but not much. But these colors are tougher to get like any pigment out of. Like, you have to press on it much harder to get any color out, just because of the shape and the surface area that actually touches the paper. So I think, like, at least for my daughter, she was not very interested to color with this, because no matter how much she rubbed this on the paper, it just didn't give her enough color, and she got bored and she treated them like balls, which was not the case with the other, like the grip crayons. Speaking of grip crayons, there are a few other options also. Dom's also has these grip crayons. And as you can see, this end is a little pointier than the Faber-Castell one. So this is fairly new. And if you can see that this purple one is a Faber-Castell one, and this Dom's, the green one is the Dom's one. So it is a little sharper, which I felt like it had a chance to kind of break off. But these crayons have also been thrown around and they do retain their shape. They have a like a funny little face in the big front, so I really like that. And these are quite comparable to the Faber-Castell ones. So if you can see that the Faber-Castell ones are a little longer, so for some kids this might be a more comfortable grip to hold on to, because kids will put a fist and they will color like that. Whereas if on the Dom's one, if you do a fist and try to color it, the shape is not very comfortable, and you know, the not much of the nib comes out after kids make that fist. So this is a little more challenging. Like my daughter was able to use this maybe right around the time that she just turned 18 months old, when she kind of figured out this grip. But until then, when she was still using the fist grip, this was a great option. So these were the crayons that we actually liked and we are using so far, and these are the crayons that the school also uses, so it's quite like approved by teachers and everyone, right? But there are some crayons that I was experimenting with just to see if it would work with my daughter, or if it's just something different that she wanted to try. So I got this pack of triangular wax crayons by Faber-Castell. Now this is fairly inexpensive. This was about 100 rupees, and I think there are 15 shades in it. So I thought, you know, you'll get a wider gamut of colors to choose from and it might be nice. So the problem with these crayons is like these are very thin crayons, right? And they're meant for slightly older kids, not for toddlers. And they are very breakable. So like most of the crayons in that box is in 2 pieces. And my biggest fear around this is always that the smaller piece will just end up in her mouth. So my daughter really liked the sound that it makes when all the crayons are in the box. So yeah, and then she kept doing that, and then she kept throwing all the crayons all over the house, and it was a huge mess. And that is the day that I took it all away. So we are not using these crayons, at least not for now. But overall the crayons like do have a good pigment and there's nothing wrong with it per se. It's just it's not toddler safe, and it is like I don't know if it is safe enough to like put bits in their mouth or anything like that, which the other crayons are quite non-toxic and they're safe for that. Of course, no one recommends eating crayons, but in case something goes in their mouth, there's a level of how much you need to worry. So with the non-toxic crayons, at least you can worry a little less. There were also these Dom's wax crayons, which I got around the same time as I got the Faber-Castell ones. Now the thing with this is again that it is and it is so slim, it is not toddler safe. It will break. There are bits and pieces of it somewhere in around my house, and yeah, that's what I would recommend. I would also say that do not give them any kind of color pencils, because even the pencil lead, if it breaks off, that is extremely dangerous. They can again put it in the mouth. Don't want that around them. I also refrained from giving her any kind of pens because nibs are also sometimes too sharp, and with the gamut of pens that I have, like she will always pick one, but I'm very careful, like always in front of her if she's using one. Pens and pencils I do not give her. Whatever she wants to color with, I mostly give her crayons. But my absolute favorite thing to give as stationery to my toddler is these set of colors by Dabbl. Now you can see that these are all child safe, no toxins, and I have an 8 color set and I also have a 3 color set, and these are so good, so pigmented. It reminds me of those Rangila colors that used to come when we were kids. And you can see that like we've used a lot of it, but the pigment is so good. It says avoid face contact for sensitive skin and apply moisturizer to do a patch test. I mean, technically it is safe for the skin, and we did do a patch test. Pretty much every weekend we will sit down with these colors and just paint a lot, and like she puts it on me like it is holy every single day. She will put it on her face also. Thankfully, there have been no reactions. It has been completely safe for her skin. So I really trust this brand a lot. This is not a paid promotion. I just have been using these colors for a very long time and I wanted to recommend it. They have been checked for toxins and microbes in the lab, and I really recommend these colors and I love using with them. They are so vibrant and they're very good to mix with each other. So if your child is just trying to learn what different colors make, like what makes green when you mix blue and yellow, these colors mix really well together, and I really enjoy like the look on her face when she sees, oh my god, what is happening. I love that. And the texture is also really silky. Colors are great for finger painting, and they're also good for painting with brushes. So again, these are also by Dabbl. I have these like stubby brushes. I will put the links of everything in the description. But these brushes again come with like a really thick grip, because like I was saying, kids hold everything like this. So it really helps her to like kind of paint across and mix paints and those kind of things. So I have like these stubby brushes for her. These, like some of them are like kind of straight, and these are like flat brushes. So I have two of each. And then I also have some of these tools. These are very dirty because clearly they are very well used, but prints and stamps are also great for kids. And this wooden handle, it's polished really well. You can, you know, hold it. There are no splinters. It doesn't hurt the child, and it's very easy for them to hold and like stamp anything like this. So I love using these kind of stamps also. It gives them a good idea of like, you know, if I put color over here, I can, this is the shape that will form on paper. So we use these a lot when we are painting. And one more thing which I absolutely love using are these cups. These are anti-spill paint cups. So it's very interesting, and if you put color in, it's not going to fall. That's why it's great to use for kids, because even if they topple it over, no paint is going to come out. Let me show you. Let's use the blue one. Okay, as you can see, I've taken a little bit of color over here, and if I just turn it over, it will not be falling off. That's the best thing for any kind of kids thing, if it is unbreakable and anti-spill. That's all I need. So yeah, I mean, these are basically the stationery items that I've been using. If you like this sort of a video, please let me know in the comments below. I'll make a whole series about all the stuff that my daughter likes to use and what I have been using with her for all of these months. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.